All right, I think we're talking about
The Allen's greatest hits.
Hannah
Woody Allen's
versus her
greatest hits.
sisters.
1986, Woody Allen.
God, Woody Allen is the most self-indulgent director who's ever lived. Like he just somehow figured out he somehow figured out how to get people to give him money to put his weird like conversations with his therapist on screen, and this is just another one of those.
It's because he brings his movies in under budget and on time, and they make the money.
He made
back.
a movie a year for decades.
Yeah, within halfway,
or sometimes two in a year.
I don't have enough fingers to count all the good ones.
Yeah.
No,
unfortunately, this is not one of them.
Yeah, after the film,
Disagree.
Most of the characters.
Pat is wrong.
After the way they filmed it, most of the characters talking with his voice. You notice that? They're
yeah. Well,
that's how
Sam Waterston isn't even credited in this movie.
There's so many people in this movie.
Jesus, John Turturro is in it for one line.
Lewis Black.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Where was Lewis Black? Where's Lewis Black? I was looking for him the entire time because
he's there when you first meet Woody and Julie Kavner in the office.
He's working on his TV show.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's he's like a guy. He just comes through.
I was focused on John Turturro.
Judith said, "Who is that?"
Like 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Richard Jenkins like on the phone for like a minute and a half.
Yeah, Richard Jenkins. I mean, all these pretty big stars, and you're just like, hey,
it's just all the people. It's all the people who were New York actors at the time.
Yeah,
like
it's John Turturro's in there.
Yeah,
you know what?
He's so fucking good in this.
No, lining this up against.
See, that's one of my biggest problems with
Jaws 15 or whatever.
One of my biggest problems with this is like this is not what I want to see Michael Caine in. Like,
well, yeah, you want to see him in Zulu.
Also, what's his name?
I mean,
Max von Sydow.
No, the scene where Max von Sydow, where she comes home after sleeping with Michael Caine,
does his monologue.
And he does that whole monologue about the TV and like, can you imagine the type of mind who watches wrestling?
I know that would get.
I thought of you, Dad.
I saw you during that scene.
I said yes. I can imagine.
Yeah, and you know. You know what my response to the TV was? Yeah, Max von Sydow, I can. It's Werner Herzog. Fuck you.
No, nice. Well, the weird thing is actually watching the other film, watching this one, I was pretty impressed by the way Woody Allen just puts together movies.
Oh, he's a hell of a director. That means that is a big contrast.
Hell of an editor. He actually knows how to tell a story in multiple storylines.
I mean, it's amazing when you think about if you stop to count how many storylines there are in this movie. It's impressive as hell. It flows. Talk about the last movie not flowing. This movie flows.
Very contrast, man. It's amazing.
That scene where the three sisters,
crimes and misdemeanors.
Well, that's the three sisters.
Bullets Over Broadway is so much better because he's not in it.
That was the middle of the movie. That was the heart of the film.
That's that scene with the camera circling them.
But that's him.
Yeah, that's him tying all the storylines into a knot. Like
exactly.
Right there.
That's where it starts.
I love how
and then when she writes her script and it's like Hannah's like, how do you know all these details about my life? And it's like she's starting to Mia Farrow.
She's putting it together.
Oh my God, her face
and
in
her
this
mother
movie.
playing her mother.
You guys, who else saw the documentary about him? I forget what it was called.
Yes, I saw Netflix.
When he goes to the drawer, with the cards,
and he pulls out all the stuff.
He's got a drawer full of little pieces of paper, and every one of those little pieces of paper is a movie idea.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
He's got hundreds of them.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And you just know
and he doesn't even type, let alone use a word processor. He does everything on legal pads.
Wow!
And then he gives it to his secretary to type.
Who types it up?
Type it up.
Yeah.
And again, when you watch all these act like Michael Caine and I mean fucking Diane Wiest, who steals every scene that she's in, like
great.
Of course, they're all
well, for a minute I thought it was a Law and Order episode because it was Diane Wiest and Waterston acting together.
Now, it's a late era Law and Order. Yeah.
Here's the thing. So there are. I've seen probably 90% of his movies, right? Like he's got a thing that he does, and I will say, like for the record, that he paints a picture of what it is like to live in New York City that is unattainable by most average
most people.
people.
Well, that's the problem. The problem with this movie is it's just Seinfeld. It's an unfunny Seinfeld episode that goes on for 2 hours.
With
and the characters never get punished for being terrible.
With that. What I will say is, first he's got this. There's this romanticized version of what it's like to live in Manhattan.
They're just Upper West Side assholes. Like,
sure.
I'm backing up Tad now. And
he writes what he knows, which
is we knew that would
just
be
Upper West Side assholes.
When you get
that's all he knows. Upper West Side assholes, exactly.
Diane Weiss takes Woody to go see the punk rock band in 19. And
that's the best scene in the movie.
No. The band sounds like they're from 1977, and nobody sits at a fucking club watching a band like that.
That's not true.
No.
I've been in those clubs. That's how it works.
No.
Yes.
There should have been a bunch of people pogoing and landing on them.
Right.
And where's the mosh pit?
A band that sounds like they're playing at CBGB's. That is not fucking CBGB's.
No, it's not. It's in the Upper West Side.
It's Woody Allen's idea of what CBGB is.
He would never dare go CBGB
because he's never been
That's in the
there.
Bowery, man. He ain't gonna go down there.
It's the Upper West Side version of that. It's 1986, and these bands don't get booked downtown anymore, so they pushed their way north, and now they're in a club full of rich people who just want to do coke and hang out.
So they're sitting at tables.
Scorsese does it better in the flick I chose.
Well, this was like the year later, year after Hours.
Jim, do this.
You're out of focus, Jim.
Focus again. But
here, hold on.
The question is, when did Crimes and Misdemeanors come out? After this?
88,
after.
89.
I thought
later.
One of the things about going on this film is I thought that he was establishing a ground, like a grounding for that film. This film, remember that doc you have the pederasty sketch in the front of the film talking.
Which is real ironic.
He's trying to establish this nihilist kind of thing where like there are no values and there are no, you make your own rules as you go and there's no God thing. It's not explicit in this film, but he's starting to do that. His ideas are hatching in this film.
Do you think he's justifying his life by making these movies?
The fact that he married one sister, then married another sister in the same family.
Oh my God, that scene at the end where he just keeps kissing her and kissing her.
It's
like,
hideous.
Oh, can you imagine?
It makes you squirm, doesn't it?
Can you imagine if I made a show about a woman a man who married a sister and then married the other? Stop it! Just fucking stop it!
And
that might be the clip.
Barbara Hershey looks uncomfortable too, or whatever.
He's great in this.
Barbara Hershey is fantastic.
She looks uncomfortable in the entire movie.
Yes. Is this our first Barbara Hershey movie?
I might be.
Probably.
God damn it, is she so good.
The three sisters,
she's great.
The actors who play the three sisters are just
it almost feels like Hershey and Cito were in a different film entirely almost.
The whole scene between the two of them when she comes back after sleeping with Michael Caine is so good. And just her, like, just stop talking. Just stop. And then he gets up in her face, and they're going back and forth, and she the whole like, I don't understand how you can care about me because you're so superior to me intellectually and all of that stuff. And
don't patronize me.
Right. And he goes, you're my only connection to the real world. And
I mean, that's
don't
sincere.
Put that shit on me.
I know, it's great. It's wonderful.
That's
amazing.
Too much.
And he's eating that. He eats that tuna fish sandwich, and he's drinking a glass of milk.
Coffee.
This was Alan. I think this was Alan channeling Bergman. I mean,
no, it was.
Yeah, there's a little bird.
Oh my God!
He'd already kind of done it. I mean, like I'm looking at
a little bit. Like Interiors is the very Bergman film.
Well, yeah. So
Interiors is totally.
Interiors is 78. He follows Andy Hall winning Best Picture with fucking Interiors, and then Stardust Memory,
which I saw in New York.
That must have been great.
It was.
Broadway
the theater was packed and quiet.
Road to Cairo, then this, and then yes, it's a movie a year with Mia up until like I guess Alice or Shadows and Fog in 91. But I mean,
His husbands and wives done by the same cinematographer,
Chris,
Ponte or whatever. What?
Chris?
Hello?
Chris?
Making a point?
I was. No, I just, this
Sorry.
was that, like, the late 80s, early 90s was him, like, this feels like the template for a lot of the movies that followed. It's sort of halfway between, like, outright comedy, like most of the stuff that preceded it, and, you know, he dipped his toe in the water of, you know, the
nihilist thing.
Well, no,
well, Stardust Memories, I think, is the first.
No, later on, his films are nihilist. There's like, it's all him in
the nadir of this is Manhattan Murder Mystery.
I like
that's where it hits its peak, and then on the downside, there's some good shit, including really Bullets Over Broadway.
Lowdown.
Is Bullets Over Broadway the one that's about the bank heist?
Amazing.
No, that's about the gangster who writes good plays.
Who writes good music.
Right. That was good.
Chaz Palminteri.
It's Chaz Palminteri.
And guess who's not in the fucking movie? Woody fucking Allen.
He's got Cusack is doing Woody in that one, just like Branagh.
Right.
Pretty much.
Just like he did in Fog and whatever.
And Chris pointed out that he did one recently where Timothy Chalamet played Woody Allen.
Right.
Yeah. There's mind you, a special memory of this is actually this played at the Rio when I was working there, right? I think,
right, because that's like his third period.
I think it was the spring of '86
where he had to leave New York.
Yeah,
so he tries to shoot New York in Europe, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, this played this film played the Rio.
He's hanging out with Roman Polanski because.
Yes.
Because why not, right?
No, because they have the same
problems with underage girls.
Yeah. Anyway, at the Rio, we got pretty much every professor in every college in Santa Cruz County coming through there the first couple weeks. That's their favorite. Woody Allen was their favorite. It was great.
It was also really kind of spooky to see two of Mia Farrow's children playing her children.
Oh, Soon Yi's in this film, you know?
Oh, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It was like, keep your eye on him soon.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know.
Did, unfortunately.
Yes.
Like John said, I mean, like, for me, this feels like a greatest hits because I just felt like it just hit a lot of notes. It moves really briskly. Most of his movies are 90 minutes or less. This one, like, is an outlier at like an hour and 45. But all the actors roll in, and you can tell that they are so happy to just be playing these kinds of characters with this kind of meaty dialogue.
It's like an ensemble thing.
Yeah, and they look like they're having a good time.
I mean, even Daniel Stern.
Yeah.
That's a great part. That's
playing like a proto Elon or whatever the fuck.
The point where they go down to the basement and then Kane kisses her and then they just come storming back inside.
Right. He's like, we have to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
I do not sell my
good writing.
by
just
the
staging it that way.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah. Well,
this, you know, again, I don't have enough fingers to count all the Woodies that I really, really, really like.
Yeah.
I mean, even though there was a period of time where even the bad ones had something that made them almost redeemed.
All of the bad ones have good aspects.
Yeah, I mean, like the last 5, I don't know what I think, like was like Cafe Society. That was a recent one I really liked. Blue Jasmine's great.
Blue Jasmine's really good.
I stopped watching
Midnight in Paris.
I stopped watching him after Match Point.
Match Point's great. Kate Blanchett is Blue Jasmine. I mean, she makes that movie.
Watch Midnight in Paris. That is a great fucking movie.
Hey,
that's a very entertaining.
Midnight in Paris is good, and he's not in it too.
Again,
I don't think I've watched any of the ones since the one where he goes to hell, where Billy Crystal's the devil.
Oh, I love that movie.
Which one's that? I'm not sure.
That's fucking Harry.
Woody's almost 90. He's not going to be in his movies.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Well, now
he should stop making movies and probably just die.
Yeah, his eyes are all totally different directions. He's kind of like, he looks like Rango now.
Rango.
It was fun to revisit this one. Like I said, I mean, I think we've all flirted with it. Scott and I have been talking about crimes and misdemeanors for years, and I enjoyed watching it.
It was
as weird as the dynamics
Jerry Orbach. It is another Law and Order.
That's
right.
Right.
Again, it's just who's working in New York right now.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, as weird as some of
How
the
many Alan
dynamics are,
Alda movies does he have?
John.
how so parts of this reflect Woody Allen's life and the things maybe he's justifying things, but there is something idyllic in his portrayal of life in New York, and that's very infectious and it really fly on the wall.
Across. Yeah.
It's aspirational in a way to just see, wow, look at all these people.
Oh yeah,
they're smart, they're well spoken.
It's what you know, kind of writ large.
It is absolutely right what you know.
He made a bunch of movies. He made a bunch of movies set in New York in the 80s, and somehow never interrogates the AIDS crisis. Like it's
Ever.
That's not on his radar.
Well, it just doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Well, I mean, okay, there is one black character in this movie, and it's the maid.
It has no lines.
That was kind of ugly, wasn't it?
Who has
no
lines and is only there to walk past the camera.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't get it.
Purple Rose has at least a stronger.
No, but
anyway,
but I wanted to say, wanted to touch on this, that for Sheila, this is a movie because of the music, because of the Thanksgiving scenes, because of the father playing the piano. This is all kind of a nostalgic experience for Sheila to watch it. She loves this film because it reminds her of being a kid and visiting her aunt's family in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And she says that the vibe is very similar. And so
because
like
Judith had the absolute opposite.
You mean that upper class
when
really?
It came out and really liked it, and she was kind of disappointed with it this time. In fact, she bailed.
Oh, really? What?
End.
So she had fond memories of it, and it was a little bit dashed when she watched it again.
Yeah, when she watched it again, it was weird.
And Ted, I think you're branding them as assholes because they're rich. They're not rich assholes. They're just people. I don't think they're
rich
assholes. No, they're assholes.
They're assholes.
They're assholes.
What makes Mia Farrow's character an asshole?
She's self-involved and just
everybody's self-involved.
But
more people are self-involved.
No, come on. She's like
it's a fucking easy thing to just say. Oh, they're rich, therefore they're assholes. Everybody in this film is
a hothouse flower, man. They're living in this exclusive little environment in New York, and no one.
That's horseshit.
No hard edges in this thing at all. All right. Whoa, we got serious. Okay, well,
that's horseshit. I think it's boring to dismiss a movie about a certain set of people because of how much money they have. Their problems are not real.
Sorry, John.
No, it's not that their problems aren't real. No, hang on.
What?
It's not that their problems aren't real. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
All right. That's classist.
It's not funny enough to be a Seinfeld, which is
Jim, wave to the camera.
Yeah, Jimmy.
He's not focused again.
Blurry again.
It's not funny enough to be a Seinfeld, which is a takedown of those kinds of people. It's just treating them as if they're, like important. No, not human beings, important.
Yeah, but Seinfeld, they're not
people who
they're
chose
just
to write
assholes.
I'm gonna back up a little bit and say that this is one of those buy the premise, buy the movie things. If you buy the premise that these people living in this weird, like airless bell jar in New York and live their little lives of being artists. You can be a screenwriter, that's great. Or you're going to be an actor, that's fantastic. Or you can do this kind of thing, it's great. If you buy that, the film works. If you're like the rest of us,
if you can constantly go back to your sister and borrow thousands of dollars to change your career over and over again, I'm sorry, your problems are not as interesting as other people's problems.
I live in reality.
Except she doesn't do anything.
In reality,
and
this is not the best reality.
No, she doesn't do anything to make that money.
It's because what's his name is a CPA for Dusty. And
although he keeps saying that she doesn't need me, so her money comes from somewhere.
Hold on. There's a lot of old money in Manhattan.
Also, this is one of those Manhattan
man.
Where nobody talks about money. That's one of those movies. Right?
Like I said, like this gave me.
It's like Jane Austen. Nobody talks about the Napoleonic Wars, which were raging at the time.
Thank you. Exactly.
No, they talk about playing bass.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go around the horn and talk and summarize. Go ahead. I'll go first. I think that Woody Allen is actually a great filmmaker, and I think this film was compelling. I was not bored. I think he makes great films. I didn't like anybody in this film, but I thought compared to the other film, I thought it was actually really brilliant. This film, having not seen it in 20 years, I actually thought it was really good. I'm trying not to bring in the baggage of Woody Allen's personal life.
Right.
If you leave that aside,
it's really hard to do.
It's hard.
Several of the things in this movie.
No, I know that's weird. It's because you have to do it like definitely hold your breath, water for that. But when you do that, though, you realize this guy is actually a pretty darn good filmmaker. So that's my two.
Yeah, but this ain't Annie Hall.
No, it's not Annie Hall.
No, I mean, few things are though.
Yeah. But thank God it's not Manhattan, which is like wretched.
Manhattan's a rough watch. Beautiful as it is, I love that movie, but that is a really like you just kind of
give me your summary, Chris.
Well, I want to point out that Woody Allen he went to trial and they excused him or whatever.
Yeah, exonerated him.
He didn't go to trial criminally though. He went to trial.
Yeah,
civil
trial.
Civil case.
This is Woody goes in the pile with a number of.
They didn't think they had a case.
Right.
Woody goes in the pile with a number of other creative professionals that some of which we have watched on this show. That is just I got to kind of like turn the switch off to it, go back and enjoy the movie and try not to think about it.
Yeah, exactly right. That's what I was saying.
To me, this movie plays like a greatest hits of Woody Allen.
I mean, I still love Chinatown,
and I enjoy the hell out of
it. Yeah, what Jim said. I like Chinatown too a lot.
Right. No, I can't stop liking Road.
Chinatown's one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, exactly.
We're reviewing the movie, not the man.
No, I mean fucking Apocalypto.
That's
awesome.
exactly right.
Both things are true.
Mm-hmm.
No, Apocalypto sucked, actually.
No, Apocalypto is fucking awesome.
Fuck you.
All right, John,
one of the ones
yeah, summary, Ted.
This is Woody Allen at his most overindulgent. Like this is the most overindulgent that he gets in his career. Like as things start to turn downwards for him personally, like I think the movies get better. Like
interesting.
Celebrity is unwatchable.
What is
Celebrity?
Oh,
when was that?
It's unwatchable. The Jade Scorpion, unwatchable.
Oh, that yeah.
The Larry David one, whatever was fucking terrible.
Again, right. I haven't seen one since
Match Point.
The one he went to hell.
I think Stardust Memories is his best.
But what?
Stardust Memories.
I think Stardust Memories is his best.
Top five easily.
I like Sleeper.
I love
Sleeper's okay for science fiction.
Everything you ever wanted to know about sex, but
that was pretty good too. That was pretty good too. Yeah, exactly.
What's up, Tiger Lily?
What's that weird one where he's like flying a bicycle?
Wow,
like a strange.
I don't know, man. That sounds pretty cool.
What the fuck is it called? Yeah,
I have to think about that.
I've seen that.
This just made me want to watch Bullets Over Broadway again. Like
that's a good one too.
Yeah, because he's not in it.
Yeah. All right, John.
When he gets Cusack or Branagh or Timothy Chalamet to basically do him,
when he gets good actors to play him and doesn't just bury the movie in his own monologue, like it's
but hold on. I mean, he's a peripheral character in this movie, sort of.
Yeah,
no, he's not. He's through the whole thing.
30% of this movie is Woody Allen's plotline.
Oh, maybe less than that, actually.
I love his attempted suicide.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. All right.
They're all pounding on my door.
That's the comic relief. Woody's plotline.
Hold on, John, give me your summary. Come on.
Woody's plotline is actually the comic relief because the other scenes are more serious. He's the funny part of the movie.
Yes.
Buying the mayonnaise.
Give me your summary, though. What of the whole film? What do you think?
I mean, I don't know if I need to summarize it. It's one of my favorite Woody Allen movies. That's why I picked it.
But that's not a summary. What now? Why do you like it?
I just do.
Okay.
Why do you like sushi? Because you do. Moving on.
No, all right.
It has great actors in it. It has some great scenes in it. I love the sort of the arc of what happens and how and where it ends up. I like Diane Weist's character a lot. I like her weird chemistry with Woody Allen, the way that they end up back together after the worst date of all time.
Yeah. All right.
She's sort of the Geraldine Chaplin of this movie.
The part where they're in
she's going to grow up to be that Geraldine Chaplin character.
The part where they're over explaining the date in the record store kind of sucks. Like I like a lot of the rest of that Like I like the part where they're walking through the park together. And and eventually he's like, oh, do you want to go to dinner? And she's like, sure. And it's like, are you free tonight? Blah blah blah. Like, I think that part's interesting, but I think a lot of the over explanation of that night is just kind of
a lot of words.
Also, it's just you could cut that. In any other movie, a producer would have come in and gone, cut this scene.
Speaking of producers, though, actually, I thought that was quite lyrical when they were talking about, at the end. That was actually like their dialogue, and the kind of.
I guess another reason
the thing is, as I was pointing out, the end of the film was dictated by the studio, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they said we have to have an upbeat ending.
We need to have a scene where you're extremely creepy towards Diane Wiest.
No, that's probably the why. But the thing is we have to have an upbeat ending. So he says, okay, well, all of a sudden he's not infertile anymore. That's the ending of the film, basically.
Yeah,
right.
The studio said
he gets his mojo back.
That's you know what's a really good scene in this is the scene with him and Mia Farrow and the partner and the partner's wife, where they ask him if they can have his sperm for the IVF. That's a good scene.
It's a good, awkward, super awkward.
All right.
But I wanted to point out something, which is that one of the other things that resonates for me in this movie is there's that great scene where Woody Allen's a hypochondriac. He thinks he's going to die of a brain tumor or whatever, and then he gets the good news, and he comes running out of the doctor's office, and he's running down the street, literally jumping for joy, and all of a sudden he stops. And then it's way later in the movie when he's telling Diane Wiest why he did that in that scene. Yes. It's like he's saying, I just suddenly realized, it's like, I'm going to have that moment. I'm going to die. I mean, it happens earlier because he's saying it to Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
But he actually,
who is also in the flick.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about her too. Yeah.
It's like, exactly. I forgot Carrie Fisher's in it. But then his whole sort of philosophy on why he didn't commit suicide is great. It's kind of like my little
I don't know.
Shorthand of like, oh yeah, that's why I'm alive.
Okay.
His little thing where he goes in and watches the Marx Brothers movie.
Right. I want to back up here for a second.
Which is straight out of Sullivan's Travels.
One of the problems with this movie is a films will solve everything movie. Is that you're gonna kill yourself. You're gonna kill yourself until you go and watch Duck Soup. And when you watch Duck Soup explains the philosophy of the universe to you in such a way.
I have zero problem with this.
Yeah, that's actually correct.
I don't know. All this exposed Woody Allen's character as a person who's incapable of happiness. He had to be forced upon him.
Kind of comedy, thing, though, isn't it?
Annie Hall was supposed to be called.
Also, I did not appreciate. I did not appreciate. I did not appreciate.
Right.
I did not appreciate all the anti-Catholic cracks in this thing either. That was like fucked up. That was fucked up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The guy who married his daughter didn't made too many jokes about how bad the Catholic Church is.
Wait. Crucifix, Bible, mayonnaise,
Hellman's
bread.
mayonnaise and Wonder Bread.
Right, I'll give you that's a dumb joke.
Yeah. That's a dumb.
We're not going to stand here.
And
We're not going to sit here and fucking and defend the Catholic Church. Fuck you.
That was like a moment of worthy of take the money and run or something. It was like really pretty broad.
Well, funny. It was. Is it Take the Money and Run where he's on a cross being carried by priests?
That was really funny.
A double part.
that was a dream sequence.
I like the earlier, funnier ones, Jim.
The earlier, funnier ones. Okay, go to the cards. Come on, we're done.
Great line.
I like this movie.
Excellent.
I like a lot of his movies.
I laughed and laughed. So what the hell? It's like there it is. All right. My God,
that was a lot.
Thank God that's over.
That was a lot of